Hello everyone, and today we have a new mod showcase. So this mod um, is a pretty cool one for Rome Remastered, and it's a mod of the Alexander campaign, and it's called the Diadochi Campaign. So this is essentially the successors of Alexander, the Diadochi. So you have Macedon, I believe, under Cassander, perhaps. And then you have the Mauryans, you have the Seleucids, you have the Ptolemies, the Antigonids, and the Thracians. So these are all ruled by successors of Alexander of the Macedonian Empire. And then there's the Mauryans in the edge of the map. So you got the Mauryans fighting the Seleucids, right? And let's start up a game here as Thrace, just to show off some of the I like the new loading screen here. I like the additions here. It makes this mod feel complete. Of course, you see the Mauryan coin in the east, and then in the middle you have the Seleucid one and the Antigonid one, and Ptolemy and Lysander and Cassander, or Lysimachus. So we have Lysimachus here with his capital at Lysimachia. Here's Lysimachus. He's invading Asia Minor. So let's quickly show off the map here. Spoiler alert. So, of course, one of the biggest issues with the Alexander campaign that a lot of people complain about is the map. I mean, look at Cyprus. Look at Crimea. Look at Greece. Yeah, so this map is not the greatest map they've ever produced for Total War. It might even be in the running for the worst. You know what? I'll say it. It's probably the worst one I've ever seen them create for any Total War game. Oh, the Colossus of Rhodes. It's just by itself there. Okay. But anyway, this mod is pretty cool. And, first thing I have to say is that it does not change the map in any way in terms of the land masses, the rivers, like look at the Nile. There's no Lake Urmia, Lake Van, right? So there are a lot of things missing here in this map. There are a lot of things that don't look so good. This mod doesn't change those things. What this mod does do, however, is it adds more provinces. So, of course, after Alexander's death, there were a lot more cities founded in a lot of different places, right? So, probably the most important ones here are Lysimachia instead of Byzantium. There's some other cities added here, especially in the east. So you have cities like Patala, Indra, Pastra, I don't believe was included in the original Alexander campaign. Banu, Multan, I believe those cities are also new, if I'm not mistaken. There are still a bunch of other changes I would make personally. The Near East has not changed very much in terms of its cities. So, I would add maybe Colchis and things like that, but those things have not been changed yet. Those cities have not been added, but it's okay. For a first version, I have to say, this mod is pretty well fleshed out. And you've got a bunch of cool factions. The Diadochi, of course, they do fight similarly, but they do get some different kinds of units. So you've got the Thracians with their Thracian cavalry. Then you've got the Macedonians with their companion cavalry, the Prodromoi. And all of that, of course, supplements the main forces. So the hoplites, the pikemen of the regular sort of Macedonian-style Diadochi armies. Another interesting thing this mod does is that it adds a lot of factions. And, you don't see it on the map here. But actually, Epirus is technically a major faction, even though it's not playable, right? So you can tell from the flag there. It is a major faction. There's Armenia here. There's the Sarmatians. There are the Daha. Right? So they are not playable, so they look like rebels, but they are in fact major factions. And what this does is it improves the AI. It allows the AI to really, fight against the player, to be aggressive, more aggressive than the regular rebels are. Now, other than that, I feel like this mod is, it's pretty cool. But, I made a video about improving the Alexander campaign. And this does a lot of that. I just wish that there was a mod like this done just for the Alexander time period. Perhaps adding some shadow factions, things like that. But, this mod, it's pretty cool, I have to say. Now let's get into a battle here as I have some closing thoughts. I'll just fight against these guys. Okay. Just to check out the units. I don't believe the units have received a huge overhaul, if I'm not mistaken. But of course, I was mainly talking about the campaign in this showcase video. There is, of course, the famous Diadochi Total War mod for the original Rome Total War. And I have to say, this mod is not the same sort of thing. So that mod was more of a major mod. It overhauled more of its aspects. Here's our auxiliary Thracian cavalry. Alrighty then. So let's get started here. Let's take a look at our hoplites. There they are. Oh, the shield texture looks a bit low res. Yeah, and this one as well. Interesting. I wonder if that's from my settings. Let me just check that. Because for some reason my settings got turned way down. Oh yeah, that's why. Yeah, everything's low. So let's improve the texture quality. Oh, I guess I can't do that in battle. Oh well, anyway, it looks a lot nicer than that. Yeah, I don't know why. I think after that update, that happened to me. But let's move in here. Put my cavalry on the left, javelin men in the front, perhaps the general on the right side, just in case. Of course, one of the issues of this mod is, of course, since you are fighting as all of these Diadochi dynasts, a lot of the armies are going to be similar. So you've got the pikemen, hoplites, right? So here are the phalanx pikemen of the Macedonians. And of course, you got my hoplites. Now, there are some mods that change the way hoplites fight so that they fight like hoplites rather than phalanx pikemen. But I don't believe this mod includes that, unfortunately. But perhaps they will include that at a later date. Now, of course, I've been doing a lot of mod showcases recently because I haven't had too much time to make scripted content like I want to do. But luckily, there is light at the end of the tunnel. I will have more time near the end of this month. So I'll actually be able to get back to making scripted videos like I'm used to. And I will be making some videos about Medieval 1, which I'm really excited about. And yeah, I'm really excited because, Medieval 1 is a game that it's a surprise to me, but it's not very popular. It's largely forgotten. Of course, it was not as big a hit as Rome Total War, right? So that's probably why. But I really feel like it holds up. I've been playing around with it recently and preparing for the videos I want to make about it. So I'm really excited to make some content about Medieval Total War, the original, of course, because I feel like really it's really underrated. Definitely. Okay, their javelin men are running up against us. All right, that looks good. Okay, our Thracian general was able to get that guy. Let's charge it there, general. So, of course, even though there is, of course, a Thracian general in... okay, we got their general. In regular Rome Total War, it seems like they're using a regular sort of Diadochi style general for Thrace here, Lysimachus's Thrace. Of course, because Lysimachus was a Diadochi warlord. And that's why they did it this way. Okay, those guys are routing. Very good. Let's get our general out of there. Now, right, so regarding Medieval Total War, of course, I put it in S tier when I made my video about the Ultimate Total War Games tier list, which was about the vanilla games, right? So that was the big thing with that tier list. It was just the vanilla games, and I put Medieval Total War as an S tier game. And I got a lot of feedback about that. You know, a lot of people said, oh, that's just your nostalgia talking. But you know what? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I'm going to talk a lot about Medieval in just perhaps a week. I'll be able to get that out, or a little more than a week. But yeah, so this is pretty much all I have to say about Diadochi, the Diadochi Campaign mod for Rome Remastered, the Alexander Campaign. Now, I have hope in this mod, so here are a couple of things I think they should do. One thing is having this on a bigger map, a more detailed map. That would be amazing if they could do that in a sort of Rise of Persia style campaign map, as opposed to this vanilla Alexander map, because this map is just very limiting. Absolutely. It's just very limiting. Another thing would be adding more major factions as playable. So, you know, having, I don't know, Epirus, having the Achaemenid successor states, so the Atropatene, Armenia, having those as playable. Having perhaps a Saka faction playable. I think those would add to the replayability, give more diversity to the factions in the mod, because, you know, they have added diversity by adding India. Of course, adding India does add unit diversity, totally different style. Army here, of course, you've got nice portraits here as well. I think that adds to the diversity, but it needs a little more, I think. Yeah, basically those are the things I would like to see from an update to this mod. Of course, adding AOR, more diverse units, I think that would definitely add a lot to this mod as well. The atmosphere, the gameplay, the immersion. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Diadochi, the Diadochi campaign for Rome Remastered. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoy videos about the historical Total Wars and their mods, consider liking and subscribing to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video.